All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson, and Lord willing, it do be edifying. And this should be a quick hit. I only got, I would say one verse, one verse in particular that I want to touch on, but I may start, a few verses up to get to that said verse. And it should be straight to the point, but it's just kind of like a mindset thing. As we enter into the time to where everybody gonna lose out on a lot of, personal possessions, material things, so on and so forth. The daily necessities that man needs to get by in life. And as I was sitting here thinking about that, is that the Lord got us in training right now. In training to let these things go. In training to take losses, in training to not have many possessions, in training to know that we can lose anything we get. You see, we not like the people of the world, or we not being groomed like the people of the world, as if they get a possession and, that's the end all be all, And the point I want to make is that seeing we coming into a time that everybody about to lose, it is a great benefit that the Lord, like I'm thinking of Jeremiah the 51st chapter, how it says, seek ye out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. It says, and be not cut off in her iniquity, because this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. But the key part, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon. And when you go into that, it's not literally talking about leaving America, to escape destruction. Because remember, it's Jacob's trouble that's going to come upon all the world. The thing is going into is that it says, deliver every man his soul. Spiritually depart from this place. Not caring about the possessions that we once had. Now, although we may still have things, take care of what the Lord blessed us with. Of course we take care and we thankful for what the Lord blessed us with, but we know at any time it can go. And the ultimate point I want to make is that seeing that the Lord have been grooming us to have this mindset, we're going to be so far more alone than the people of the world, because they're going to have that Lot's wife spirit on them. They trust in possessions. When all hell break loose, Yahweh Shai, he told them for 70 AD, which that still stands for us today. When he say, when y'all see troops come, don't run in the house and try to get your possessions. Don't run in the house. If you're on top of the housetop, don't run in and try to grab stuff. No, he said, just run. See, we got that mindset of just run. But the people in this world, they go try to go get their best fit, the Xbox, their phone charger. You see? So on and so forth. Now, the verse I want to go into, saying all that to say this, the verse I want to go into is Matthew 6. Some Yahweh Shai said, when he says, seek the kingdom first, and all these things going to be added unto us, man. And what's the things? The daily necessities that man need to survive. Food, shelter, clothing, so on and so forth. Yahweh Shai already told us, don't worry about that shit. Worry about serving me and you good. You see? Worry about serving me and you good. And that's what hit me earlier, is that, man, when the whole world lose, we going to in a way be prepared. Because the things that's going to be taken from us, food, clothes, shelter, guess who can easily give that to us now, because we've been serving him? The Lord. Hey, remember the 100 prophets? I believe it was 200 or 100. I think it was 200 prophets that Obadiah hid in a cave. 101 cave, another in another cave, if I'm not mistaken. During the time the prophets was being persecuted, how did they find a spot to hide out at? The Lord, he ordered that, man. Elijah in a famine. He had ravens come feed Elijah. Then after that, he had an angel come feed Elijah. Then the angel gave Elijah seconds, and that lasted him for, I believe, 40 days and 40 nights. If we want to talk about clothes, remember it said when we was in the wilderness 40 years, it says that the Lord didn't allow our clothes or our sandals to wax old. Meaning what? Our clothes walking in that dirt and wilderness for 40 years still was fresh. You see, fresh. Right? The point is, when we talking about the needs of man, we shouldn't have to be wholly focused on it like the people in the world where their next meal will come from. We serve the Lord. And as long as we do what we got to do daily, those things will be taken care of, man. Let's get into it. This is Matthew 6. And I might read the NLT. We're going to see. It's Matthew 6. And see where I'm going to start at. Now, the point in 33. Right? The point in 33. It's Matthew chapter 6. And and I just want to see where I'm going to start at. All right, I'll start up a little bit. Matthew 6 and 33. And look, the header says, teaching about money and possessions. Matthew 6 and 33. In the NLT, it says, verse 19. I mean, not 6 and 33. Matthew 6 and 19 in the NLT. It says, don't store up treasures here on earth where moth... I'm going to jump down. I'm going to start at... And I'm going to read this in the KJV. I like how I hit in the KJV. Salakia. Verse 21, it says, I gotta start up. Verse 19 in the KJV, lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right? So what you highly regard, that's what you're going to think about. You know, what you into, that's what you're going to think about. If all you is into Jordans and shoes and a next release, that's where your mind will be at, on shoes and Jordans. If all you want to do is talk about hoes and all that, your mind will be on hoes, all on Instagram. And every time you swipe to the next profile, just ass. Because your algorithm picked up that you want to look at ass all day. Because your mind there. Right? So if our mind is constantly on this truth, I mean, if we are constantly involved in this truth, that's where our mind will be. Let's continue. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body should be full of light. Now let me jump down. It says, verse 25, and therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, or what you shall... Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body. So the Lord said, don't worry about food, drink, or clothes. It says, what you shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and a body more than raiment? It's a lot. You got these trucks passing. Bad one, I'm going to let it pass. Right, but Yahweh Shai said, look, you don't think you're more important than just food and all that? We shouldn't even have to worry about stuff like that when we know Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And we're going to see why. The Lord going to tell us why we don't have to worry like the people of the world going to worry. Remember, when all hell break loose, people not going to know where their next meal going to come from. Then they thought ain't going to be, well, I know the Lord could send ravens to feed me. Well, I know the Lord could send an angel to feed me. They ain't gonna think about that. When they're in a concentration camp, they ain't gonna think about, well, the Lord sent the angel to get Peter. They ain't gonna think about those things. You know? Them being taken care of because they haven't been studying, they haven't been reading, building their faith, even knowing that that's possible. Even these so-called Christians who talk about they believe on a sweet baby Jesus, when all hell really break loose, that fake-ass faith gonna go out the door with them. You see? Let's read on. Because you know why? They're going to go to the government for help. These people who don't have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are going to go to the government for help. And when you go to the government for help, you're going to have to get that MOTB. It says, and behold, the fowls of the air. So Yahweh Shai, he making a point. He said, look around. Look at the birds. He said, behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Think about that. It says birds don't got no refrigerator, a deep freezer in their garage to put, keep frozen meat in. They ain't got that. They ain't got no pantry with snacks. But guess what? They eat every day. Matter of fact, I remember a couple months ago, I ain't feel like cutting the grass in my crib. And I was like, man, fuck it, it's on my spirit to go ahead and cut the grass. As soon as I cut it, my whole yard was filled with birds eating. And that's when the Lord wanted me to cut grass so he could feed them birds today. You see, the point Yahweh Shai making, little old birds who eat every day, you don't think the Lord gonna feed you as his servant, a whole person? Come on, man. It says, yet your father feedeth them. Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature? It says, and also, why take ye thought for raiment? Why y'all worried about clothes? Where clothes gonna come from? It says, consider the lilies of the field. He said, look around again. Look at the flowers. It says, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. So in other words, these flowers ain't do nothing to get like this, but look how beautiful they are. The Lord got them clothed. You don't think he gonna clothe you as a whole person? See, Yahweh Shai making a point. If we serve the Lord, what we worried about? Who we worried about? That was on my spirit yesterday. If we serve the Lord, who are we worried about? Move with confidence among these people, man. You see? But today, what are we worried about serving the Lord? It shouldn't be nothing. If the Lord take care of everyday little things like trees and birds and all that, and they ain't do a lesson yet. They ain't go to camp yet, but guess what? They been taken care of. How much more us who nigh to the Lord, man? It's the point Yahweh Shai making right here. It says, so verse 30, wherefore, if the Most High so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? And see, a lack of faith, that's what pisses Yahweh Shai off a lot. When you doubt and he telling us. He made the point right there. So if the Lord taking care of birds, right, with flowers, you don't think he gonna take care of you? You don't think he gonna take care of us? Nah, in the flesh, we may be nervous at times. We don't know why, this gonna come from that. Right, that's why he gave us this talk. So we don't be worried and bothered. The people of the world, when my children starving, man, we put up a prayer and let time. You see, and at the right time, the Lord gonna give us a meal. Let's read on. Oh, not just a meal, but whatever we need. Let's let time play out, and the Lord will have it work out. We don't have to force nothing, man. We don't have to force ourselves to be in a situation. Let the Lord put us there, and that's what we have going into this time of Jacob's trouble. People gonna try to force themselves into better situations, and they gonna get caught up. We gonna wait on the Lord to come help us out, man. You know why? Because we know what's coming. You gotta know what's coming. You gotta know the Lord gonna have to make a way for us, man. The people of the world, they ain't gonna know no help coming for them because they ain't gonna have no help from divine or supernatural power. But let's end it. So it says, so therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewith shall we be clothed? For all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of these things. The Lord know what we need. And it's the point right here. So seeing the Lord said, don't worry about materialistic shit. Don't worry about food, a house, right? The necessities of man. And this is the ultimate point. Verse 33, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things, what things? Everything we've been talking about, the necessities of man. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you, man. Straight to the point. Worry about the work first, doing this work first, and the Lord going to take care of us, everything else. You see? So day to day, make sure we get them lessons in, get some reading in, watch the videos. This is part of the work of the Lord. If you're not a prophet, also for the prophets, keep the laws to the best of our abilities. You see, if you're not a prophet, watch the videos. Keep the law to the best of your ability, so on and so forth. Doing these things daily is likened unto seeking the kingdom. Because what Yahweh Shai said, the kingdom don't come with observation. Look over here, look over there. He said it's within you. So it's this truth, man. Focus on doing this work first, and we're going to be taken care of is the ultimate point. Focus on the kingdom, serving the Lord, and everything else that we'll need day to day going to be taken care of. You see? But I'm going to end it right there, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Chakwadash. And with that, Shalom.